I'm Warren Blue. I'm the primary owner of the Greener Garden Urban Farm located in Baltimore City. But my wife and I, we pretty much work this our own self. Really started farming as a hobby, just to grow something for me and my wife, our own self. And the more I grew, the more I like it, the more I got involved. I went to the Maryland Extension Service to take master gardening classes, and the more I got involved in that, the more I got involved into the ground. And one thing led to another, and I guess we started with a little small plot, and then we enlarged for the next 20 years. And I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a tractor, so I said, well, I had closed down my construction business, and I needed something to do, and I was tired of cutting grass, so I turned the rest of it into a farm. And I guess we have maybe about an acre and a quarter all total. And now 4 greenhouses that we have erected. We got a grant through the USDA to put those up. But being that we're a profit farm, we are opening those hoop houses up next year to the Maryland Extension Service, so we can bring in the children through the 4-H club and different middle schools, so they can learn how food is processed. I mean, where it's grown at, how it's grown from the seed to the harvest time, and give each one of those kids or those groups a plot that's there, so when they come, this is what they can see growing, and they can say, I grew that. They can take it home at harvest time and show their parents, this is what I did. And this is what gives the spark back to them, where they need to know, because a lot of kids think food just comes from the grocery store. A lot of people can't work the land in the city. For one thing, they don't have the equipment. We're fortunate enough to have 2 tractors. We have all the tillers, we have all the discs, we have bed setters, we have mulch layers, all of that, but a lot of people in the city, they don't even have a tiller, they don't know where they can't store it at their house, they don't know where to get it from, or how to operate it, and this thing that was me, it was all self, because I never knew nothing but a tiller, or how to operate it. I had never driven a tractor in my life. I went down to my wife's family farm down in Virginia years ago, and I took a week off, go down and just learn how to ride a tractor. And I fell in love with that tractor, and I've been riding one ever since,
I'm Lavette Blue. I'm the other part of the Greener Garden. When we first moved here, my first requirement was, gotta have a big backyard so we could grow our own vegetables. And that was because they were putting so many chemicals in the ground and everything at the time. And the cancer rate was soaring. And I told him, I said, we got to do something better than this. Maybe we need to grow our own and kind of control what goes in the ground, what we can use, what we shouldn't use. So it's been a process. It's been something that we've been learning for 20 years or more, how to do this. And we're both certified master gardeners. I love telling people about the herbs and how they can season. It's about education. A lot of kids, especially the kids in the city, don't have access to that. And even in the county, they don't really have access, but here it is fresh. You can go and you can pick it every day. I'm becoming more educated by it, because they ask me all kind of questions, and then I have to go look it up because I don't know. And so I have certain standard things now that when they come and ask, I go like, oh, here it is, is this free? Can I take this? Yeah, you can take it, And sometimes they don't buy anything. I tell my husband, I said, okay, but I don't worry about it, because sometimes the curiosity of things make them come back and they, well, can I try this? Can I try that? Sure, It's just a thing that I'm trying to make it accessible at this point. Because we're basically a small farm, we can kind of do things that maybe other people wouldn't do, because everybody has tomatoes, everybody has Swiss chard, everybody has carrots, everybody has squash. So if we want to grow something different, we can do that. So that's a new experience for them. But it also opens them up to the idea that, hey, this is something new, but it's good, and I liked it. So when it comes up again, they're like, okay, I can try that. Yeah, I had some of that.
Farming is a lot of faith, more than work. Sometimes you have to have faith and belief in what you're doing, because If not, you're gonna be a terrible farmer.